Hey everybody, Dr. Crowtron here. I was just going through YouTube, checking some stuff out, killing some time. And one of the things I've noticed myself doing, I think, because I've been focusing on my channel, is I just watch a whole bunch of other YouTubes and listen to what they have to say about YouTube in general, about making videos, everything from how to get better at recording things, lighting, all the way down to the drama that occurs on YouTube, just the direction of everything, issues with copyright, issues with monetization, issues all over the place. So I figured, it's on my mind. Why not? Let's do a little vloggy thing, I suppose, just so I can get my thoughts out there in the universe. Just doing a little gameplay underneath this of The Skies, which is in alpha, constantly updating. It's an interesting little game, but that's the one I'm here for today. I was on SomeOrdinaryGamers channel. Some Ordinary Gamer is ran by a gentleman named Mutahar, and I really enjoy that channel. I mean, the guy's just second to none when it comes to things like deep web browsing. He's got some crazy creepypastas. I love that guy. And he's the first one I've actually heard that had a fairly interesting take on YouTube. His take considered essentially the nature of monetization and what that does to people. Also kind of what fame does to people. Now, I've heard other YouTubers talk about this, but he really made it about what YouTubers do in terms of the money circumstance. So I want to talk a little bit about that. I mean, he also brought up other things. He's talked about sub for sub, so of course that's when people will subscribe to somebody and then expect them to subscribe back, and then it becomes kind of a tit for tat, quid pro quo maneuver, all in the effort to do one thing, and that is to get more subscribers. And I would bet the foregoing notion here is that you get more subscribers, you get more likes, you get more views, you get more watch time, you then become PewDiePie. I'm sure that's what most people are thinking, what most people are hoping for. That says a couple things for me, and that's kind of what I want to talk about. The first thing is how depressing it is, I guess, in a lot of ways, that people are really willing to hang everything they have in the hopes that they're going to be some kind of a YouTube star. That's the first part, but it's not just that. It's what's attached to it. The thing that's attached to it, of course, is the money, right? It's not just the stardom. It's also, being able to, and I understand this, do things like play video games, put a video game footage, and make a living off of that. I do not hold anything against anybody that wants to start up their own business, but just the proportions it's gotten to with things like sub for sub, for example, which is getting close to older news, but it still happens. It's almost like it's more of a desperation maneuver, and to me that misses the point. Now, let me make it clear here. When I say desperation maneuver, I'm not meaning that this is a person who doesn't have grounding in reality. I mean, our reality has gotten to the place where we feel this is all we have, and that, to me, I think is what makes me sad. Rather than actually going out there for a true dream, it's almost like this is the only thing many people out there feel they can do to contribute to this world. For a precious few, that's absolutely true. This is, or maybe was their dream. Maybe this became their dream. They're very good at it, and I mean, this is what they're designed to do. This is what the world needs of them. But there are also thousands, tens of thousands out there just so desperate for this to be the way that they get their life meaning. It's heartbreaking to see that not happen. And I think the thirst for fame, as you can see through something like a sub for sub, the thirst for money, as you can see by any ever-expanding ways to monetize, they kind of demonstrate some of that. And in furtherance of that, it really is the search for the money and the fame, not so much the creation. That's what has me concerned. That's, of course, the first thing is that desperation maneuver, and the second would be the money aspect. The point, I guess, is if you ask any YouTuber why they started, especially YouTubers that are successful, and particularly successful gamer YouTubers, I've heard everything from it was a dare, I was bored, it was just fun, it was a thing to do, and then it mushrooms from there. Now, those responses to me have one big thing in commonality. It was for fun. That was it. There was not really any kind of expectation to the money. That came later. And for some of them, it's a very big deal now. I mean, it is their career. It is what they do to feed their families. But I think everybody has something to learn from that. I am a new YouTuber. I've been on for 4 years, 3 years, but to me, I haven't really pushed it too hard. I got back into it. It was just fun. A game came out that I loved playing, you know. And hey, here's the thing. I am not a huge channel by any means. The vast majority of my subscribers, that's because of the Dark Souls video I made about getting souls. And there are better ways to get souls. It just resonated with people. But I mean, from my perspective at least, the reason I started that, the reason I did that video is I thought it could help people out. It was just fun to make, and I love video games, and I wanted to share something. I actually thought it would have been pretty much pointless. It's the same thing with my channel right now. And this is, of course, just speaking for me. This is just me kind of getting stuff off my chest and thinking out loud about it. But for me, it's just fun. It is a thing I've loved forever. It is, it's just, I don't know, it taps into the creativity of things, as well as shares that world that I love. And not everyone in my life gets that part of me, gets the gaming part of me. Now, to me, a question comes to mind, and that is, what would YouTube look like if there was no monetization? Well, the first answer is the easiest one. There would be no YouTube. We are getting server space. We are getting infrastructure. We are getting software online that we can use to develop things and upload things and so on and so forth. Well, someone's got to pay those bills. And in this circumstance, the people paying those bills are the advertisers. No advertisements, no YouTube. And to be honest, this is pretty much true for any social site out there. Of course, you could make the argument there's there's private things, private servers, what have you. They still cost money. It still costs electricity. It still costs hardware. I understand all those things. So we've got to have some way to generate revenue for this thing to continue, right? We have other things as well now. Now we've got competition, quote unquote competition, kind of for YouTube through things like Patreon, right? Where the idea here is we're kickstarting somebody's artistic endeavor, which is also a great, wonderful thing, you know. As a matter of fact, in terms of music, we wouldn't have really much in the way of music at all if it weren't for the ruling class basically paying musicians to entertain them. Quite seriously, there was no such thing as an agent or a manager. It was, hey, this Duchess over here really likes your music, so she wants to hire you to play whenever she wants you to play. You know, we had tons of things like that throughout history. This is just a continuation of a tradition, really. Not so much begging, but more, what would be a good word for it? Maybe, well, the word would be patronage. And that's what it was, the patronage system. The other thing, I'm trying not to ramble here, I'm trying to keep my thoughts all together, but the other thing here that of course we must recognize is that the artist also needs to eat, and I get that. So on the one hand, for YouTube, no ad revenue, then no YouTube. Okay. From the artist standpoint, guys, you gotta know that the amount of time invested into doing this and to doing it well, it's incredible. The amount of dedication it takes. I mean, I'm thinking of somebody like B000100, one of the guys that I love back from the Minecraft days. I still watch his stuff quite frequently, and I sit there and I watch his B00 live channel where he's doing vlogs with his family and everything. And it's just, I mean, the man is, if he's not recording, he's editing. If he's not editing, he's eating and sleeping, and then it's rinse and repeat. I mean, it's tremendous amounts of time and effort and dedication. And if you're going to put that kind of time and effort and dedication into a channel, you got to take care of your family. How are you going to do that? You know, and that's what we have to think about. So for me, I don't hold it against anybody if they're going to use Patreon. If their fans want to support that way, then that's great. I do also understand, however, that can be very divisive. It kind of, I don't know, pushes away people that casually approach you, alienates them, makes it so there's a us-them kind of concept. I understand that as well. So, I mean, it's a very complex topic. For me, I guess, I've been struggling with understanding what that means. Now, I really had no intention of this becoming a career. I have a career. I am, actually, like I said, a forensic psychologist. It's a job that I love. It's a job that I'm actually very good at. But this is different. This is, if that's the left side of my brain, this is the right side of my brain. So I'm not able to speak for anybody but myself. However, for me, I stop and I think for myself, okay, if I were to monetize that, what would that mean? Where would the pressure lie then? What would happen? What if I wanted to take a vacation? And then here I am relying on ad revenue, which of course requires videos and minutes and time. I doubt this is going to be going that way. But I just think, would I actually enjoy this anymore? I don't know that I would. Would I become desperate? Would I find myself understanding what that need and necessity would be? Well, I'd feel it. I don't think I'd understand it, though. The other thing I think about, too, is, okay, if I did that, would the baser human things start to take over? Things like this need for acceptance, this kind of emotional greed that can happen, starvation for fandom, and so on and so forth. It's just a human tendency. Don't believe me? Look at the vast majority of YouTube. Right? I mean, you'll hear it quite frequently that there are tons of people just dying to be famous somehow. Like that will fill something within them. And I also think about fame, right? Fame rarely seems to work out. So again, this is a very complex thing. It's got lots of ins and outs and twists and turns. But for me, I don't know. It's been on my mind actually for a couple weeks. So I figured let's give a different way of doing things on YouTube a shot. Part of my mind was like, hey, screw it. It is my channel. If they don't like the video, then they will absolutely let me know, which I am totally fine with. But I guess what I can say, I'm at 499 subscribers at this moment. And why that's amazing to me, that means that 499 people enjoyed what I was doing enough, even for a matter of a few seconds, to click a button. That doesn't sound like a lot, but it is a lot. It is a lot. The likes, all those kind of things, same circumstance. So someone out there must like what I do, and I enjoy making it. And I'm just so thankful that someone's getting some entertainment out of this, or some information. And I'm humbled. I'm humbled by how kind everyone can be. And it's equally terrifying to see how horrible everyone can be, but I think YouTubers kind of help that process along. And again, I am no big deal here. This is just my YouTube channel, and I'm just chatting with friends. I guess really what I have to decide, no, I take that back. What I've already decided is I'm going to do a little social experiment here and see what YouTube is like without any monetization. I don't think all YouTubers could do that. I'm in a different position, I suppose, I don't want your money. I have my career, and I mean, it'd be nice to be able to build my new PC, but if I want that, then I will make that happen, and I don't need to have to pull from you to ask that of you to do it. So I'm not going to. I mean, I even toyed around with the idea, okay, well, if somebody really wants to support me, maybe I could do like a donation link or something. No, it's the same thing. For right now, I'm pretty committed to the idea that I want to make sure that this channel remains fun. It may not be fun for everybody. It might not be everybody's cup of tea, but I know for sure, at least at this moment, what I'm putting up there, within a day, I have a very, very steady 12 people viewing my episodes. Even if for just a few moments. They're getting something out of it. So I'm going to keep going that direction. Okay, so that was just a rant with some gameplay. And my first shot at one of these. I hope it wasn't too rambly. But I would love to hear your position, your thoughts on YouTube, how it interacts with the money, what the community seems to look like in terms of YouTube. What do you think about the new norms? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Is it neutral? Is that just the way that it is? I'd love to hear what you have to say about it. So please drop a comment below. As per usual, I guess like if you liked this, dislike if you thought it sucked. Constructive criticism is always welcome. See what I'm doing? I'm working on how I end stuff. But thank you for listening. See you next time.